We're back with another Jubilee video. Pro-Trump versus anti-Trump Republicans. Maybe the Republicans will be able to correct their own side and finally wake up MAGA's delusion. Let's dive into it.
Trump in the Oval Office has a gay problem.
Wait, what are you saying?
Donald Trump has a large faction of gay Republicans.
That's fine.
No, that's not fine. That's
Okay.
not fine.
Wow.
That's not fine.
Wait, what? Wait, what? Yo, what the? Oh my God, bro. What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
These conservative values. Can they agree a step forward?
Donald Trump perfectly embodies conservative values. There's no good argument that Donald Trump embodies conservative values. MAGA's not even conservative or a Republican anymore.
As an American and as a small c conservative myself, I have an interest in conserving this country, what makes this country great, our founding principles, things like that. And I do think that President Trump does a phenomenal job at trying to conserve those values and those principles.
In the respect of, protecting borders, really prioritizing family values and family unity, correcting.
Yes, Donald Trump, who's cheated on his wife multiple times and talks about how he would fuck his own daughter, conserves family principles. And makes it hard for families to afford healthcare and food. Conserves family principles. I don't know. Fucking the dude is a sexual deviant, but apparently he conserves family principles. I guess so. Is immigration like a conservative value? I don't know. I don't even know if that's the case. What was the other thing that said? I don't know. I forgot.
Our education system, fighting back against what ruined my home country of Iran, where the socialists joined hands with the Islamists, and we see what happened there. I think that he sees all of that very clearly and has a good grasp of not just domestic issues, but also has a great grasp of foreign policy issues. I feel like he's the first president who sees things clearly.
Can they disagree a step forward?
One of my hugest issues with Donald Trump is the family values issues because, he's an adulterer. His friendship with Jeffrey Epstein, super concerning. His treatment of women, the civil case against him for sexual abuse with Jean Carroll. I mean, all that is not indicative of someone who values family.
When I think of conservatism, I think small.
You go, girl. You're cooking. There's no way you can argue Donald Trump cares about family considering who this guy is. That is just bullshit. The one thing you can't say about Donald Trump is he's willing to do anything to bring his family into the limelight, like raise the family name, by doing corrupt bullshit and utilizing his presidential power to make his family richer. But I don't think he necessarily cares about his family like that. Like, I think they just have to uphold the Trump name. And I think he would replace his wives. I think he likes his daughters for weird reasons. So no, I don't know what we're talking about here.
Government. And right now, I don't know how you all feel, but I feel like we have the biggest government in our life that I've ever experienced. We have National Guard walking our streets. We have ICE being militarized. We have the Bible, the Trump Bible, being sent to schools such as in Alabama, that they are making their educators teach. This is not the America that I've always known. I'm a believer as a traditional Republican in small government. I think that what he is doing is a far overreach of what a president should be doing, because I know your argument is we need to get back to what America, was. But my question for you is, what is America? What is your definition of what does it mean to be an American? What are American principles for you?
Well, I'd like to respond actually, because I think when you talk about small c conservative, and you talk about small government, it's small in in scope, but it is a powerful government. So when it comes to using the National Guard to uphold immigration law, I think that's totally acceptable because that does fall under the federal government. That's one of the.
No, it doesn't. You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. You're yapping. Big yap. MAGA yap. The federal government can't just send the National Guard wherever it is, whatever they please. You know how there's a federal government? There's also state governments, and there's also state rights. You know, the things that conservatives want to preserve, states' rights. Oh, okay. Only when it matters. Okay. Oh, it only matters when we feel like it. Got you.
Main things that they do is enforce immigration law, life, liberty, property, right? So we want a strong government in those regards. What we don't want is the government in our healthcare, in our education. And I do see the Trump administration as wanting to reduce.
Unless Donald Trump infringes on healthcare and education. You know, that's the only time we're okay with it. The healthcare one I won't touch upon. But the idea that Donald Trump doesn't infringe on education just because he demolished the Department of Education, but then also threatened schools to sign a document to adhere to his principles, or he's going to rebuke funding. Be serious. Be dead ass. Y'all not dead ass. And then he just sends people over to schools, threatens professors. Like, come on, what are we doing?
The scope in that regard.
But why do you think that the courts are preventing the National Guard?
They're not. They're not. They have no jurisdiction over the executive branch. The Supreme Court has ruled in favor of Trump every single time. Using the National Guard to protect federal agents, there's nothing unconstitutional about that.
I think to get back to the prompt,
That moron doesn't know what he's talking about. Again, the Supreme Court, there's some cases that's still getting deliberated. Many, again, we don't care about states' rights. Many states have said, no, send your National Guard out of the area. The jurisdiction is held by the governor unless there's some verifiable cause that enforces the kind of extreme action by the federal government. For example, when, states were being racist against black people all those days ago. In this case, that is not proven. That hasn't been proven. And most courts say this is not something the president can do. So again, big yapper, big Trump dick sucker.
they were saying was is Trump the perfect embodiment? Now, I didn't come forward because I don't think he's the perfect embodiment. No way is he the perfect embodiment. But neither was George Bush Sr. I don't even think Ronald Reagan was the perfect embodiment of what I would consider myself as a conservative. Donald Trump is, to me, just the best person that can bring a coalition together so that we can maintain this side of the Overton window about what conservative values are.
Right, but that's why I wanted to challenge CJ. Would you consider rule of law, respecting the rule of law, a conservative value?
Absolutely. That's why I did not vote for Donald Trump.
But if Donald Trump is upholding the rule of law as it relates to federal immigration, immigration enforcement, absolutely.
Undocumented migrants are protected under Amendments 4, 5, 6, and 14. So if you're not going to give them their due process and you're going to arrest them at their court hearings, of which they are literally trying to just follow the law to becoming a citizen, do you find that's a problem?
But they're not following the law to become a citizen. That's the entire point.
Under asylum law, they have a pathway to citizenship.
See, to me, Trump is the best.
So they are, because a bunch of MAGA is brain dead. They don't know anything about anything. I've repeated this so many times, but let me repeat it again for those people who don't understand what illegal immigration is. There are people, very, 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 very small percentage of people who are able to get into the border or get through the border without any verification, without checks or anything like that. Those people are here illegally. They have not come through the process. Yes, they should be detained. The majority of people we are talking about are people that are waiting for a process or under a process. The majority of people we're talking about are people on temp status, the people are on asylum status, people who are refugees, or they're people that are waiting for the asylum process, waiting for their documentation, because a lot of these immigration situations end up taking years to be officially upheld or decided upon. If they are denied, they are sent away. But we all know it takes forever. That's why we want more judges to make the process more streamlined and efficient. So these people are not here illegally in the sense that they've come here without checks. The majority of these people are non-violent, non-felons, waiting for a process that now they're being treated like a criminal because our immigration process is so goddamn slow. But MAGA, you hear the words illegal, your brain turns off and you become fucking idiots. And you really don't know how this fucking happens or how this works. That's why a lot of you motherfuckers ended up believing that Ohio Haitians were eating cats and dogs. You always believe the stupidest of things just because a fat orange billionaire who likes to fuck kids told you so. So I just wanted to get that across. Thank you. Thank you for hearing my TED Talk.
Answer to keeping an America where we can have these kind of conversations going.
I'm actually really worried about the suppression of free speech. There is a compact for excellence in higher education that's being bandied about, and they want the universities to sign on to it, and they want to define what free speech is, the Trump administration. We don't need a definition of free speech. We know what it is. The courts have already declared that.
You don't really know if that definition is going to limit free speech or not.
Just the fact that they're saying we're going to define free speech and let you know what it is, that in itself is a problem.
I hear that. I don't support these anti-Semitism laws that are coming out, right? But again, what Trump is preserving is that framework that we can argue anti-Semitism laws, no Semitism,
He's not preserving that at all. Democrats have preserved that far better. The only time that you can allude to is during COVID. But hey, surprise, surprise, you know who also tried to censor social media companies because of things they said? Oh, well, somebody said something bad against Donald Trump. And what happened? He tried to make Twitter take it off. That's what happened. That's why he tried to get rid of, who is it, Jimmy Kimmel, for saying something bad? So let's stop pretending that Donald Trump cares about free speech. He doesn't. He doesn't give a fuck. And the only times that you guys can criticize Democrats is because of the situation that happened in regards to COVID, because you guys don't care that millions of people died from COVID.
Pro-Semitism laws, we can still argue that.
But what do you make of the lawsuits, though, where he's suing NBC and he's suing anyone who is giving him press?
The lawsuits specifically aren't opinion-based or expressing opinions. They were defamation suits.
They were defamation
lawsuits, and he won.
Well, yeah, he did win.
Here's the deal. Did he file a lawsuit? Or did he go and shut them down with the power of the federal government? Which one did he do?
We have
It's
Colbert
real
that's
easy.
going to be no longer having his show.
He didn't win these lawsuits. A lot of them were settlements. A lot of them were settlements because they didn't want to deal with the pressure from Donald Trump, because a lot of the times he was also threatening funding. And one of the big things that's happened recently, just proving the corruption, is that he settled with Paramount, and Paramount only allowed this happen so they can merge with Skydance. That's the only reason why they settled, because they wanted the president's approval to merge with Skydance. And now Paramount is becoming a shill company for his son-in-law and a bunch of Saudis. So, funny how that works, right?
Colbert cost the network too much money.
He's the #1 rated talk show host.
Yes, the #1 rated, which is...
Oh, it was Colbert. I don't fucking follow these news personalities. It was Colbert.
Look, this show that we're on will get more views than Colbert.
Exactly.
Trump had a lawsuit against Colbert. Part of the lawsuit, there was an exchange of Paramount buying out, I believe it was CBS.
He's on CBS. Yeah, he's part of the whole
And so Trump
Skydance
pressured
thing.
them to get Colbert out of there in order for that to go through, that sale. And he's trying to do the same thing with Jimmy Kimmel.
Okay.
Can you share why you did not vote for Trump a little bit?
I work in real estate. I can spot a con man from a mile away. When somebody asks him a specific question, he does not answer that question. Instead, he'll say, oh, did you see Barron hit a home run in Little League? Oh, that was what he diverts.
Who is better than Donald Trump? I'd love to know, because in 2 years, we're going to have to answer that question as a party.
I am concerned about how we're
Joe Biden clears fucking Donald Trump in every single way except maybe the border. Because you guys hate brown people so much that, I guess, whatever.
I mean, he's definitely consolidating power in the executive branch, and we have a very, it's a fragile system. It's a legislative, judicial, and executive. And right now, it's all the powers going there. He's pressuring the FCC. He's pressuring the DOJ. By the way, he wants $230 million because of this lawsuit. Oh, and the Fed. I mean, wants the Fed to do what he wanted to do, and the Fed has to stay independent. That's how our system runs. We can't have a partisan Fed.
Trump is protecting pedophiles by not releasing the Epstein files. Can they agree a step forward?
Facts.
I'm not sure if he's purposely trying to protect molesters, but I think he's inadvertently doing it by not releasing them. I mean, if Marjorie Taylor Greene is saying, let's have transparency, let's release the files, I mean, then it needs to get done.
If Bill Clinton is in the list, he needs to be arrested. If it's Donald Trump, he needs to be arrested. We don't know. But what we do know is that he ran his campaign on this issue. The issue came up. Pam Bondi said herself that she was going to be working on this issue as a priority. And then all of a sudden, once it's looked into, oh, what list? He's kind of just pushing this under the table. In fact, saying, oh, Epstein, why are you still talking about Epstein?
He capitalized on the energy and in some sense facilitated a sort of awakening where people realize just how corrupt the world is. I think a lot of people who voted saw Trump and partially is bulldozing not only just these political, but these networks, these blackmail networks, these really sinister underpinnings in society. And look, it's one thing with Epstein files, let's say hypothetically, oh, what if there was nothing there? I mean, even though I think that's a stretch, but the fact that he went on a shaming campaign, that's what kind of sparked me. Like, hold on a sec. He said, why are you asking this? You're like the Democrats. You must believe all the hoax. You are silly. I don't even want you to be my follower. Why are you asking this? It was a very gaslighting style. And, you know, it was very concerning to me.
All right. Can the disagreeer step forward?
This is a problem I have with a lot of the Epstein file stuff. It's almost like there's a, what's that word?
All right, this guy's about a cape for Trump. I said it before. If you're in the files, if there's evidence that you're following little girls, throw your ass in prison. I don't care what letter's next to your name. Throw your ass in prison. And I'm gonna have another video coming up. There's some interesting things said about Trump that I want to show people, but that's on a different video, and it'll be later on in this stream that I'll show that.
Like this fixation on the.
But you think we should stop talking
No,
about the Epstein
look,
files?
there's all kinds of stuff that's really gray. It hasn't come.
So you're saying the Epstein files is really gray? Is that what you're saying?
It's
How
great.
gray is P. Diddy? Is that
So
Okay.
it's great, but here's the deal. We don't have to argue about like what's really going on with the Epstein files when hundreds of thousands of children are being murdered at Planned Parenthood clinics. It's a matter of priorities.
Ain't no way he did a whataboutism with the Epstein files. These motherfuckers are not serious. They're not real people. They are not real people. Their default is anytime it starts getting hot, they start turning away and blaming something else or looking somewhere else. They refuse to acknowledge reality. Reality comes right at them and they run away as fast as humanly possible. Because no way he pivoted to abortion after talking about the Epstein files. Y'all brought it up. You guys were talking about it. That's why Dan Bongino was elected into the FBI. Now he's about to resign because he fucking sucks at his job. That's why Kash Patel got in there and he sucks at his job too. Pam Bondi got in there and she sucks at her job too. JD Vance was talking about it. A bunch of fucking MAGA content creators were talking about it. Y'all kept talking about it. And now we're going to go like, you know what? Abortion's more serious. We should forget about it. Fuck you. How about that?
Let's get Planned Parenthood permanently defunded before we go and try to fix this Epstein files.
I disagree to a certain extent. We can have multiple priorities at the same time, and there are going to be certain people that have different vested interests, of course. I disagree with how the...
You know, I think he has a vested interest in the Epstein files for different ways. I know what I'm saying. I'm joking. That's not allegation.
Communication was, especially in the initial go around with the Epstein files and the phase 1, phase 2 releases. I disagree with how that was handled wholheartedly, and I've been public on that. I think we can all probably agree on that, and I think there should absolutely be justice for the victims of the Epstein, or alleged victims of Epstein. That is, but to say
there
that,
we go. We got the butt. We got it. We got the butt. Okay, now let's hear the cope. Let's hear the big time cope. Hear it. Come on.
Victims
Let's
of
hear
the
the butt
Epstein,
again.
or alleged victims of Epstein, that is. But to say
that butt. Oh, Jesus Christ.
that he is protecting child molesters or anything like that, I think is a very, very disingenuous statement. And to even truthfully...
Then why are they redacted so many documents? Now, this is probably came out before the Epstein files got released after months of pressuring. But why is there so much redactions? I understand redacting the names of victims. I'm here with you. I get that. But the victims' names weren't redacted. Matter of fact, there's some victims that came out saying, why didn't you redact my name? I didn't want my name out there for the public. So if victims' names are not redacted, then who is redacted? Seems like he's protecting someone, don't you think? Obviously, unless they're the enemy like Bill Clinton, a Democrat. But other than that, there must be someone who's high profile, who's so much evidence of him doing weird things with women, doing weird things with little girls, and has the most powerful position in the world. I don't know. I feel like context pretty clearly says that he's protecting someone. The question is, who is the someone? Help me help you. Help me help you. Come on. Come on.
To claim that Trump might himself be implicated, that's not I think that's a very aggressive claim, considering he very much ran on this issue quite a bit.
When you saw what happened in the 2024 election, when we saw the
he ran on the issue. Y'all morons voted him, and now he's saying it's a hoax. Because let me repeat what I said. Y'all morons voted him in, and y'all morons will cap for him, like y'all morons are doing right now. All right, let me grab my stuff. Be right back.
Organization of different political systems, the DOJ, everything. The Democrats threw everything they had at Trump, and Trump ran on it. So I don't think you would run on it the way Trump did if you were implicated in it or if someone knew. So it's very clear.
And the Democrats would have used that against him.
100%, 100. They used everything.
Unless everyone's implicated, then maybe.
Well, and that's what I think.
I'm not saying that.
But no, I think there's a lot.
I think there's a lot to that, though.
But just to finish the point.
It's not maybe Trump. It could be Republican, Democrat. You could have a collapse in the systems globally if you release.
That's
exactly it.
That's why I think it hasn't been released. And actually, there was talks of that. I was Women for Trump. I was on, one of the rallies, and there was a lot of talk of that people on the Republican side were saying, if you release these, the system will collapse.
Yep. Are you guys saying the system collapse is that there are so many high-level people that visited this disgusting island?
Yes.
You guys get what we're talking about? This is horrific.
Oh, there's so many horrific things.
Yes, but this is my point. That's a horrific situation that still has a big question mark. Who's on the list?
But don't give up. Don't give up.
I'm not saying drop it. I'm saying prioritize. Like, I know.
But she also said you can do
it's
both.
like the gut.
No, and I don't agree with the fact that this shouldn't be a priority. However, like I said, I'm just not so quick to jump to conclusions. I think that this is.
And then you're dumb as fuck. And the whole idea is like, oh yeah, it can collapse the system. I don't want a system controlled by pedophiles. Who wants to live in that system controlled by pedophiles? I don't. Me do not. That's why I'm fine with fucking up Hollywood too. There's a bunch of weirdos over there as well. If our system is ruled by elites that take advantage of the innocent, then fuck them, right? Now, there's a way to go about it to kind of clean slate without destroying the institutions. I'm not in for anarchy. That is ridiculous. But we can pick new leaders. We can pick new leaders. Get them all out. We'll pick new leaders. We'll be fine. The institutions will hold. We have a chain of command, or we have a what would you call it? Like a succession system for a reason, for people to take office after we expose the weirdos. We'll be all right. So yeah, if you guys are saying, oh, they don't want to release it because the system will fall, then you admit that he's protecting pedophiles. That's what you literally admitted it. You guys don't want to say anything bad about your daddy. No. Come on.
It's a very, very complicated issue, and it's something that
it's not a complicated issue. You fuck little girls, you get sent to prison, or worse. It's not a complicated issue. What is so complicated about sending terrible people into jail or worse? I don't get the complication. I don't get the issue. That person goes to jail. We replace them with a different person. Bing, boom, booty bot, beep bit bot. Simple as that.
Administration likely needs to be careful about exactly what they're releasing, how they're releasing it, and going about these things.
All of us, as people with integrity, should not let this die.
I'm
glad that we're agreeing on that.
Kat, why haven't the victims sued these people who molested them? Why is it just
Oh, we're victim blaming. Based. So based. W victim blaming.
She sued Prince Andrew.
Okay, and more.
Why hasn't Donald Trump sued the media?
He has. You just mentioned earlier that he did.
Over the Epstein allegations.
He
He
filed
did-
a lawsuit against that letter.
Why
Pat
isn't he?
mentioned.
Why isn't he
'Cause it's fake.
filing lawsuit
not
against
fake.
Elon
It is
Musk?
fake, Pat. It is
Elon
fake.
Musk, the richest man in the world, who said he's in the Epstein file. He could sue Elon Musk for freaking what? What is he worth?
Billions,
$500 billion. Why is he not? Because you would have to have Discovery, and in Discovery, all these.
Oh my God, this man's cooking. He's cooking. He's cooking. Oh, go crazy, my big buff feminist. No, let me chill. He definitely lifts more than me. You know what I'm saying? I do my thing, but he clears me. But he's cooking.
Answers. There are all these
Not why.
questions.
I think he's trying to keep MAGA together, but because he has other priorities
Yeah,
that he'd like to
exactly.
get done.
I think you're treating.
Yeah, trying to keep MAGA together with the pedophiles. I'm here. I understand. I get it. Y'all trying to stay together with pedophiles. I understand because a bunch of them are rich and wealthy and give them a lot of money. I gotcha. Understood. That's why he's not suing nobody, because he doesn't want those information to get out to see if it's real or not, to see if it's true or not. It's a careful game that you guys don't want to admit that truly exists. And this guy is saying, oh, we should like focus on abortion rather than the Epstein files. Check his computer. Check his computer right now.
Trump, like he's supposed to be some god figure that comes in and does.
Oh,
all
I don't
these
see him as
magical-
God.
No,
Oh, we're
no,
well aware
but
of that.
That's how you're treating him. Like he's just gonna like.
Yeah, your cult thinks he's God. You put him above Jesus Christ. There's literally clips of MAGA cultists going like, if Jesus came and you know came to the country illegally, he needs to get locked up. Your cult is cooked. You know what I'm saying?
Thor just show up with a hammer.
Well,
and
no.
start
Getting back to the
hitting.
original
he
question.
can't.
Getting back to
He
the original
can't.
question. I do think that he is protecting.
He only can sue people when he feels like it. Otherwise, then he can't do it. You know what?
Pedos, mainly himself. You had Katie Johnson. Did you
He's
read
not.
Did you read the testimony of Katie Johnson? I have.
Please enlighten us, please.
I don't think that YouTube would allow the language, but I encourage everyone
Summarize
to
it
go
then.
look into it. He raped with Epstein, this young woman, 13 at the time. There's, I believe it's a total of 17 women have come forward to allege against Donald Trump specifically.
That's-
not in the Epstein files, not of the Epstein victims. We're talking about others. He owned the Miss Teen beauty pageant.
Oh my gosh.
You had quotes from these teenagers, women, that said that he would come into their dressing room and watch them. And he admitted it. He admitted that he grabs women by you know what. Are we supposed to just sit here and defend this man? I'm sorry, I voted.
Why are you laughing at these claims? What is wrong with you? Oh my goodness. It's just, I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I'm about to say something crazy.
Republican,
Really?
but I cannot defend this absolute disgusting, vile psychopath. And for anyone who can, I think is un-American.
The Miss Teen USA claim is a complete
Cook.
lie. Actually, there have been claims that he has walked into dressing rooms
He's
of
admitted
the.
it.
No.
He on Howard Stern, he admitted it that he goes backstage because he
I'll go backstage before show. Everyone's getting dressed and ready. No men are anywhere, and I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm expecting it. I stand there with no clothes, and I sort of get away with things like that. Trump said this. Oh my God! And these people are still caping for him. This man is cooking. He knows what he's talking about. Hey man, we got a real Republican man. We got a real Republican man over here. Hey man, he's filet mignon right now.
can.
Not
That
the
Howard Stern
Teen
clip
Miss
was,
USA.
he was clearly joking.
Why don't we all just go back and watch it? We'll figure
He
out.
was clearly joking. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. When are we joking about seeing little girls naked? You go fuck. Let me see this motherfucker's face again. Hold on.
Stage because he can.
Not
That
the
Howard
Teen
Stern
Miss
clip was,
USA.
he was
Check your computer too, you fucking weirdo.
clearly joking.
Why don't we all just go back and watch it? We'll figure out for ourselves.
Please.
Trump was a much better president during his first term.
I believe that Trump was
I think he's about to say, I believe he was better because he didn't do anything. I think that's what he's about to say.
a better president during his first term, mainly because he was more cognizant, aware of things. He was healthier. He had better people surrounding himself in his cabinet. He had people that could tell him no. I remember specifically during one of the protests, he had said, can't you just shoot the protesters with rubber bullets in their knees? And I believe it was Bill Barr at the time said, no, Mr. President, you can't do that. Now they're shooting protesters with rubber bullets in their knees. That's one of my biggest problems with this administration right now. There's no one in his administration that can tell him no, and that should terrify everyone.
I do think there has been his own personal divisiveness that's been worse this term. We do need some leadership that can unify this country, and that's should be a priority, and it's not, absolutely.
I think he's doing a good job, but
Y'all are cooking. Okay. Hey, big dude right here. He's been on fire. He's about to become a star from this. The figurehead of what a real Republican man looks like right here. You see this guy right here? He's goals for you Republicans, especially the white ones. Did Donald Trump's first term, was it better? I mean, yeah, I agree, because he had people who said no. He actually couldn't do much of anything because he couldn't just be an authoritarian fascist dictator. And that's better than now, where he's acting like an authoritarian fascist dictator. So objectively, yes, he was much better. Much better.
This country, and that's should be a priority, and it's not, absolutely.
I think he's doing a good job, but I was more Trump 2016. I was more that. I think he got more done. He was more effective, I'll say. I personally have disagreed with him on more stuff this second time around. I don't like what happened between him and Elon. I'm not a big fan of the big beautiful bill. I'm not pro rah-rah Israel like he in, but I appreciate the ceasefire. One of my biggest problems is he's softened on the social issues. So he put all these great justices in that overturned Roe v. Wade, but they've still got more work to do. There's Obergefell is coming hopefully in front of the court, and hopefully that'll get overturned. Because right now, Donald Trump in the Oval Office has a gay problem. The New York Times reported that. They call it Donald Trump's big gay government.
What are you saying? Wait,
You don't
what are
know.
you saying
It's
about
flying
a big
undercover.
gay government? I don't understand what you're saying right now.
Donald Trump has a large faction of gay Republicans.
That's fine.
No, that's not
Republi-
fine. That's
Okay,
not fine.
Wow.
That's not fine.
Okay.
When he has that kind, I'm a social conservative. I'm against.
I'm a social conservative.
Are you
too.
against gay marriage?
That has nothing to do with people serving in an administration. People who are gay can serve in administration
Yes.
quite perfectly.
But when
and
they bring their
wonderfully.
values to work and they affect.
So this guy just wants to get rid of gay people. It's always these type of people that are like anti-gay, that are like closeted gay. Like come on, let's be honest. South Park, the Butters episode with his dad. This is Butters' dad right here. Guarantee you're about to find him in some cars in the alleyway. Some like, I don't even know what they're called, like gay hookup. Is that a thing? I don't know if that's a thing or not. I have no idea. Well, he probably does. He probably watches gay porn. I bet I could find gay porn on his television, on his computer for sure. Go on. Let's be honest. Look at this guy. You think he gets pussy? No. He gets rejected by pussy and dick. Yeah, this whole idea in big 2025 that we want to get rid of gay people, just why? Why are we still doing this? Why are we still doing this in big 2025? Let them live their lives. Who gives a fuck if they like each other? Who gives a fuck if they get married? Who cares? We need more people to parent kids in foster care. If a gay couple wants to do it, fine. I'm cool with it. Sure, whatever. Yeah, it's just not a big enough deal for this to matter, because there's only a small percentage of people who are actually gay or trans or lesbian. Majority of people are still straight, and they're still not having fucking kids, and they're still not getting married. So gay people, they're the problem. I don't know about all that. This is just hilarious. You say, Trump, your admin sucks because you're all gay. That's funny as fuck. You know who else is gay? Trump. Putin has evidence of him sucking dick. You didn't say anything about that. Get rid of Trump? Maybe we could agree. Get rid of Trump? Get rid of gay Trump? Come on.
Public policy, and they fight other conservatives to protect
We need
gay marriage.
more Republicans, and if they're gay, we're welcoming you.
We'll welcome gay Republicans. When you come in, you have to be against gay marriage.
Do you know who Roy Cohn is?
Yes, I do know Ray
He
Cohen.
was gay, very
Yes.
gay. And he is the one that really gave Trump his
His
push.
start, right.
And there is rumor that there was some action going on. So how does that make you feel?
Well, I would say if gay was Trump and he's closeted about that, I would say, Donald, we all make mistakes.
What about
Go fuck yourself. Like, really, this guy needs to go fuck himself. because obviously he's not getting dick or pussy. Like, really, just go fuck yourself. Honestly, what the fuck are you talking about?
Grinder crashing during the RNC.
I'm not a pride guy. I've been around the LGBT community.
I would be so curious. Hey, people, listen up. Listen up if you're watching this clip. I would be so curious to see the political ideation of people on Grindr. I'll be fascinated. Now, it has to be majority Democrat, like most gay people, but I would just be curious to see how many people are Republican. I'm fascinated, especially those closeted ones. You remember that one Republican? I think it was Republican. I don't remember, but he talked about all the orgy parties that all these senators be having. Hey man, there's something there.
All my life. It's not a healthy community. So when it comes to these social issues, Donald Trump, in his first term, he was the guy that overturned Roe v. Wade. I want to see in the second term that he's the guy that supports the overturn of Obergefell.
I just want to get something clear. You guys don't like the big beautiful bill, but you like TCJA? Or where
What's
you
TCJ?
Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, the first administration, 2017. The big beautiful bill is an extension of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. Key facts about it is that they reduce the marginal income tax.
Bitch, what the fuck are you talking about? Just because you said extension doesn't mean that's all there is. Yes, the tax cuts are still there. They're now permanent. The big beautiful bill is way more than fucking tax cut. You dumb. I hate MAGA just be lying. They be lying. They be manipulating. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating all the times they lie and manipulate. Stop doing it. You guys are hurting my soul. You're hurting it. I don't like it. Stop lying. I know you want to be a big MAGA content creator because you have no morals and you're a little bitch, but stop. Stop lying. That's a lie. Oh, it's just an extension. Shut the fuck up and stop lying. Tell the truth. Tell us what it actually is. It's way more than a fucking extension.
Tax rate for across the board. They reduced corporate income tax. So it was essentially a tax cuts for the middle class, for the lower middle class. And
stop lying. Oh, this guy is a piece of garbage. He's actually terrible. He's a terrible human being. Oh my goodness. I'm guessing he's, you know what? I'm gonna be racist. I'm gonna be racist. I'm gonna be racist. He's a Qatari plant. I said it. I said it. He's a Qatari plant. He's trying to destroy America from within. I'm just saying. You can't be saying this much stupid shit if that's not the case.
Big Beautiful Bill expanded on all of that. They included capital provisions for bringing back manufacturing to the U.S. You guys seem to be against the Big Beautiful Bill, but do you even know?
Has manufacturing come back?
Mixed. It's some has. They're building a lot of new plants. There's a ton. You know, these things, they expedited approvals for like data centers and stuff. So things are being built right now. There's a bunch of companies that are investing billions of dollars into this. So I would say yes, absolutely.
Do
It
you
has
think
come
that
back.
we should be a consumer?
No taxes. Yeah, I know. It cut taxes. It also did a bunch of other stuff. Like our national debt is going to be at a historic high. Our budget deficit is going to be at a historic high. The healthcare stuff that now we'll see how it gets mitigated after there's another deadline for the premiums. That shit's going to skyrocket. So many people are going to get kicked off of Medicare. So many people are going to get kicked off the SNAP benefits. They're trying to control education. There's so much stuff. I did a whole podcast episode breaking down everything in the Big Beautiful Bill. And if you're ignorant and dumb enough to say that it's just tax cuts, then you're fucking wrong. You're just objectively wrong.
Economy like we've always been, or turn more into like a manufacturing economy?
I think it needs to be a mix.
Yeah,
because we
absolutely.
can't have, like, again, as a physician, most of our insulin is not made in America. Many of our drugs that people need to survive on is actually made in countries that are hostile to the US.
Sure.
So there's certain
And that's because Donald Trump made us a terrible fucking ally. As for insulin, whether or not it is manufactured in the U.S., just so what? Is that a big deal? Is that a dire problem that America is suffering from just because we're not manufacturing insulin? If we can import it,
things that we absolutely, in the name of national security, do need to repatriate.
Do you think it would be easier to have these companies be able to manufacture in the U.S. if they had a consistent tariff policy instead of, oh, we're going to do 1,000%. Oh, no, it's 30%.
The tariff policy is why we brought back manufacturing. If you look at chips,
right? But it's
let me explain, because a lot of people don't understand this. If you look at the Chips and Science Act, for example, which was bipartisan, the only reason that was economically viable was because of the tariffs that were placed on China in Trump 1.
No, I'm talking about consistency.
That is, I would say the whole Trump platform is consistency. He's deregulated AI, he's deregulated crypto, he's pro-manufacturing, he's pro-bringing back, onshoring manufacturing here. So it's not.
How's that consistent? His tariffs have been extremely inconsistent. Where he put tariff off, puts tariffs on at a certain percentage, takes them off, puts them on, takes them off, changes it consistently. If you're talking about his erratic behavior about it changing inconsistently, if you're talking about that, then yeah, for sure. And that's been fucking a lot of businesses and fucking a lot of consumers. Congratulations behind that. Deregulating AI is not a good thing. Not a good thing at all, and that's not helping manufacturing either. And then what did he say? He said something else.
If I'm a business owner and I have to decide whether I'm going to have my manufactured in China or the United States, I want to know what that tariff is going to be, and that it's not going to change or fluctuate next week, next year, next month.
You want predictability?
Yeah. And I think that's one of the hardest things right now is that companies are struggling with predictability.
I'm in a lot of different organizations of entrepreneurs and also treat a lot of entrepreneurs. One of them, for example, recently I was talking to does textiles for a very large company here in America that you all go to. And she brought all of her manufacturing back into the United States. And you know what she told me? She said, you know what, even if there's not predictability, I feel good that I'm giving jobs to Americans. And there is something other.
When in doubt, when the facts don't back me up, let me
money.
talk about this one singular circumstance of someone saying something, and I'm going to blow it out of proportion and use it as my only means of verifying my claim. You can go fuck yourself too. Like, honestly, this whole idea, I could talk about people. I saw a lady talk about how her business is floundering because of this. Oh, there's millions of farmers that are struggling because of the tariffs. I can name another business owner that because of everything that happened with immigration, he lost a bunch of workers. Oh, you don't care about those anecdotes. You only care about your own because you're a piece of shit. Understood. Get it. Shut the fuck up about these anecdotes. I don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. So stop bringing them up.
That real humans feel when they repatriate these jobs.
What's going to happen when we all lose the jobs, at least white-collar jobs, in a couple of years?
To AI?
Yeah.
I mean, it'll happen like any other time in history. We will adapt, and we will have new jobs, and we will be more productive.
We won't. We haven't adapted. A bunch of these Americans don't want to do a lot of the jobs. Immigrants came in, did the jobs, and then they started bitching about the jobs they did not want to do that immigrants are doing, and it's fucking our economy now that we're just throwing all of them out. So we did not adapt, and it's going to get even worse because we are not actually, and this is just a problem with the system. This is not necessarily only a problem with Trump. We are not bringing citizens and holding big corporations and billionaires accountable enough to ensure that people are rising to the evolution of society and technology. We are not doing that. The only way that people have been evolving is becoming entertainers on social media. And that is a very flawed way to create a career because it's not consistent, and it is very much there's too much variables that play into it, and it's honestly not a meaningful field that actually impacts anything. So let's be very clear. You're just talking out of your ass. That's all you've been doing the entire time. You talk out of your ass. You say things that are either not true or vaguely true to create a very flowery picture of what is actually going on.
Internet first came out, all these conversations were had and we all adopted.
Right. This is why I actually do have a problem with Trump 2.0 is the fact that he went against Elon Musk.
He didn't go against Elon Musk. They had a disagreement as regards to the deficits. Musk's issue was that they were.
You just keep on fucking lying. Why do you keep lying? This guy might be the worst person here. He is a useful idiot, and that's what I'm saying. He might be a Qatari Asian. I'm not gonna lie, because no way this person's this much bad faith. Elon Musk called Donald Trump a pedophile. What do you mean they didn't have a falling out? Why are you fucking lying? Why are you lying? Why are you lying to my face? Like, the receipts don't exist.
The Republicans weren't hawkish enough, meaning like they didn't reduce spending on social welfare.
So that was my agreement with Elon.
There's different priorities between Elon Musk
Let me. I hate this guy with a passion. I hate him so much. I hate this guy so much. He's so full of shit.
And President Trump and his administration as a whole.
Absolutely, but
Agree with that?
absolutely, but I think he should use Elon Musk as an advisor. Talk about a businessman.
Do you think there's a conflict of interest, though?
What's a conflict of interest?
Well,
between what?
he got $5.9 billion in government.
I don't care
contracts.
about Elon. Let's move on.
Well, I mean, we can talk about the most recent example.
Trump claims he's America first, but his actions put foreign interests first. I want to talk about Israel or Russia. If this is an anti-Israel campaign, I'm just not interested.
With regards to giving Argentina $40 billion when we're currently.
Oh, Argentina. You know how we manipulated the Argentinian elections? This I'm sure this is an interesting conversation, but I do want to move on. I want to focus on what's going on domestically. This one is he's putting a lot. You know what? I'll hear him out. He's been cooking. I'm gonna hear him
shut
out.
down
I think
starting November 1st.
I probably
you're
agree
going
with
to
this
have
point.
food assistance recipients, including children, not get their food assistance. The Republicans are nowhere to be seen, and it's largely due to Donald Trump. He's playing golf. Factories being closed in Detroit. You've got Nestle. They just said they're going to be laying off 16,000 employees over the next 2 years.
That's jacked. I'm gonna move on from this portion. Sorry.
I don't love my country more than I love my grandchildren. I love my country because I love my grandchildren.
The current
I'll let that go.
ICE raids violate American values and constitutional rights.
Facts.
Yeah, it violates Amendment 4, 5, 6, and
Oh, only one of them came up.
14. What else is there to talk about? They have the right to due process. They have the right to education. They have the right to be with their family, stay with their family. They have the right to not be illegally searched. At the end of the day, these are human beings. They make up about $100 billion per year of U.S. taxpayer money. He has spent $100 billion so far to go after some criminals, but it's actually a larger percentage of people that have not committed crimes that he's now going after.
I think an American value is dignity, giving someone dignity and worth. I think an American value is also life.
I do think she's definitely like a Republican, and she's probably wants to enforce stronger immigration. She just knows that Trump is a bad person. So like I'm not against the idea that we need stricter immigration policies to an extent. I think there's a lot of wrong information about immigration policy that's just out there. Highly recommend listening to my recent podcast episode. If you guys weren't for my Purple Political Breakdown show that I did, that I explain how work visas work, and I explain how much work visas and immigrants bring in terms of the economy and how they help create jobs. Like I break all that down, like with factual information, not lies, that MAGA pushes. I do think there's something to be said there. And I'm willing to have a very thorough conversation. I've had a bunch of conversations with like immigration lawyers, immigration experts. It's just the idea that Brown go down, throw him out. It's just fucking stupid.
And we have had 20 people this year die in ICE detention, and that's the most we've ever had since 2004. I mean, the way in which this is being done.
If you guys read the article about the conditions in places like Alligator, Alcatraz, it's like so bad that they're considering that this is like violating the human rights, violating the I think it's like human rights conditions, and then also something related to torture, that these are international crimes basically that's going on how they're treating these people because of how bad the conditions are in Alligator, Alcatraz. So yeah, I've spoke about this before. We're really leaning into the concentration camp territory where we're just as bad as some of these other countries or even ourselves with like what we did to the Japanese. And it's very disgusting.
Is not showing dignity and compassion for those people who are here undocumented.
I would say that from a systems perspective, difficult things have to take place. And so on the ground, some of the stories aren't going to be pretty. And the question is, where's the line? Personally, I think there needs to be some distinction between the person who grew up as a baby and now is 25 years old, grew up with an American identity, but they never had the documents because of the sins of their ancestors, right? Because of what their parents did, compared to someone who's opportunistically coming in here and maybe trying to use the system in a not the best way. I mean, this is a complicated thing. I think managing a system is very difficult.
It is very difficult.
Not to mention the corporations actively recruit undocumented migrants because it's cheap labor. So if they're recruiting them to come, they want them to come, and then you punish them, why aren't they punishing the owners of these companies? I've also noticed that they're putting tape and covering their license plates in like Illinois and California, which is against the law, even for law enforcement. You've got them dressed in full tactical gear, looking like they just came out of Afghanistan, raiding streets, throwing tear gas in the middle of blocks, disrupting normal life. Why? In my opinion, it's because he wants the theatrics. It's a distraction. It's a distraction from the fact that the food prices are still up. The wars are not solved. Nothing he has promised is done. And this is a distraction because all he has left is tough on crime.
Okay, you guys mentioned that ICE agents and federal agents should not wear anything to cover themselves. I don't understand how as Republicans you can say that when the cartel has literally put out hits on federal agents for enforcing the law. To say that such a ridiculous thing as like, oh, they.
What is the standard? What are you talking about? What? Oh my goodness, they come up with the wildest things. They really come up with the wildest things to justify the actions that are taking place. The reason why that they're wearing masks is not because of the fucking cartel. Again, this guy's so full of shit. The reason why they're covering their faces is because of the backlash they get from Americans. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? There's one guy who literally admitted of him breaking down because of a situation where his face got exposed. And he was doing some ice shit. And I think he shot someone, I believe. No, it's the backlash from Americans. And you could say that's right or wrong, of course, but no one's buying your cartel story. No one's buying that shit. No one's buying that shit at all.
Should uncover themselves and whatever. Like, do you want their families' lives to be in danger, or like, what is the logic behind?
They weren't in danger under Biden or Trump.
Because the left lunatics that for some reason now think that immigration law is optional all of a sudden.
Joe Biden deported hella immigrants. Again, you're full of shit. You're a fucking liar. You just are just not truthful. You're just making shit up because you're a Trump dick sucker or a Qatari agent. I still think that's a plausible situation because he keeps on making shit up. You can't be this. You can't. These people should not exist. You can't be this bad faith and such a piece of shit. You can't. It's like. How?
Weren't acting that way at that time.
Where they're throwing tear gas in the middle of the block.
They've done those raids.
Reason why people are upset.
They do raids like that all the time. Before I was born, they were doing raids.
They did it in Albany Park. I sell property in Albany Park. It's not an area I'd ever be scared of. And you couldn't even see the house on the other side of the block. There was so much tear gas.
When you're dealing with cartels, human traffickers, drug traffickers,
what are you?
You absolutely are.
Sometimes.
No.
No, you're not. You're full of I hate these people. I hate these people with a passion. Like this lady said, the majority of people that are getting locked up have not done a crime. The majority, like 70%. What is the statistics? How is 70% of people who have never committed a crime, especially a violent one, how are they the ones that we're going after? Oh my God, bro, we are not serious.
They have every right to cover themselves and hide their identity.
I
Absolutely.
agree. When you're going after
that's what they're doing.
The border should be strengthened. I think we can all agree on that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But what do you do with the people that are here that aren't criminals?
Just want to take a bird's eye view of all of this. It has to do with the number of representatives in the House that are allotted to each state. Why did Nancy Pelosi want to give free houses to undocumented immigrants? Why? Because of apportionment. California had the most U-Haul rentals of people leaving California. They lost a House seat because the number of bodies, not citizens.
Oh, she's a conspiracy theorist. Okay. This whole idea that they were bringing immigrants in so they can affect elections, even though that's never been proven, and this is just a bunch of made-up bullshit, and these people are not counted at all in the election process. But These people are just not real. I swear to God.
Bodies in California went down. So in order to counteract that and get their house seat back, they're incentivizing illegal immigration. Please try to take the emotion out of it for 1 millisecond. I know that it's hard, but it really has to do with the number of bodies, the number of house seats, and power. Because I guarantee you, if apportionment went back to just counting U.S. citizens, the Democrats wouldn't give two shits about.
And looks like I have another thing to talk about. And all accounted for. All right. This is something. This is on the new research on the dime. I'll be talking about this on my podcast and finding out the facts. Can't say I will debunk it because I do not lie about what I research, but I will fact check it. Apportionment, number of immigrants, and elections. All right. This will be a future thing that I research and find out the validity of this, because my default when it comes to MAGA is thinking you guys are full of shit. So I am more than willing to research this. So until I research this, I will not have a strong stand.
Illegal immigrants. And I want to say one more thing too. My family, I was born in New York, like in 1979, and we went back to Iran and the revolution started, and they wouldn't let Jews leave. My father was threatened with his life. He said he was going on a medical conference, flew to Vienna, left the passports of me, my sister, and my mother in the government's hands so that they knew we weren't escaping. My mother hired smugglers. We went to the bazaar one day. They put us in the back of a covered truck. We were in fetal position with strangers. Burlap sacks and corn were put on top of us, and we were taken to the border of Pakistan, where we got into a pickup truck. That night in the desert, border police caught us and started shooting at us. We lived in Pakistan for 3 months waiting for visas to reunite with my father. We stayed in Vienna for 3 more months to get legal documents to come to this amazing country legally. It's the right way to do it. We can't not know who is here. They just found a Hamas, somebody who participated in the October 7th attacks. They caught him here in the US. Why? Because when Biden administration let all these people in without checking who they are, they let in a Hamas terrorist who participated in October 7th.
I think we
Yeah, and then all the other like 95% of the people who come in do it the right way, never do anything wrong, but we'll just use that one individual to justify a terrible thing because we have we can't conceptualize how individuals can take advantage of a system, even though they've taken advantage of many of systems that MAGA cares about, but they only care about it when it's not against their agenda. These people are full of it. I'll say it every single time. If we're going to blame one person to crucify all of immigration, all of Catholicism should get destroyed because of what Catholic priests do to little kids. That is my rebuttal to that every single time, because this is such a fucking terrible argument. Yeah, I'll look up apportionment.
You can support the ICE raids. The question is there can something about them be improved, or is it the best possible way? Like the way it's being done is the best, most effective, most charitable, whatever. And maybe you might say it is, but I think anyone here, well, actually, you said you support the border enforcement, the deportation.
I think the border enforcement is important, and I also
deporting people who are
criminals.
By definition, they're all criminals, considering they broke the law to get.
Yeah, what do you mean violent? Like only violent people, or what?
Well, I mean, if you're more than 100 miles from the border and you've been here for more than 2 years, technically they treat you as a misdemeanor. It's a felony if you're within 100 miles and they catch you in less than 2 years. So, I mean, should make the differentiation. But I think that we all agree in your situation that we need to know who's coming here. The problem is that it can take up to 25 years.
Well, that's the thing, and I think I agree with you in the sense that you said, can it be made better? Yes, but it's been such a shit show. We need a reset. Then we can go back and say, okay, let's reimagine this. Let's come up with the ideal solution or close to an ideal solution. But right now, it's so out of
The ideal solution, just throwing families and kids in prisons or just throwing them out of the country. That's your ideal solution. You know, you struggled with you and your family, but you don't have that same level of empathy for other people and their family as they escape for like places like the cartel. Like, give me a fucking break. You can't tell a sad story but not feel the same empathy for other people just because you were able to make it. Not everybody has that capability. And ultimately, a lot of these people are waiting. We are throwing people who have status here that are just waiting for their status. There are people, like someone said earlier, that are at these courts getting taken away. There are people who go do their routine checkup that are taken away. People who are doing things that they are supposed to be fucking doing getting taken away. So this whole idea that these people are hiding and running away from the system, no, that's just not fucking happening. It's not happening. Innocent people who just want to be in America that is making up a slew of money for the economy, that's creating a slew amount of jobs for the America. Those are the people that we're just throwing out, and even though they care about America, and it's like, I don't know, bro. It's just this whole idea. This is just bullshit. This apathetic way of thinking about these people is ridiculous. All right.
Donald Trump lacks the personal ethics and morals expected of a president.
I'm a Catholic.
I think I've seen enough. Let's look at the comments before we wrap up this installment or this video. It's interesting. Jubilee rebranded. Got a new logo and everything. The Epstein thing is really great. Somebody check Emilio's computer files. He stole what I said, even though they said it first. If we release the Epstein files, it will collapse the system. Then the system needs to clap. Again, stole what I said. Let's defund Planned Parenthood before we're worried about the Epstein files. Check his hard drive. Hey man, they stealing everything I'm saying, or am I stealing everything they're saying? He was clearly joking. Who jokes about spying on little girls, especially a father? I don't know. I don't know. That was something that people joke about. I didn't get the hint. Shout out. That's all I got. Shout out Jubilee. This guy had a masterclass performance. This guy's a piece of shit. She's stupid. He's a weirdo. She's smart. She's just like maybe evil. Dare I say? Maybe evil. All right. That's all I got. Hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, we go. Take care. Peace. All right.